Hey you! If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Also, if you want to see more of me, I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/cryptic587. Now enjoy the video. Hey everyone, I'm making this video to talk about my thoughts on the newest Dead by Daylight chapter, which introduced the Nemesis, Jill Valentine, and Leon S. Kennedy. And I know this gameplay isn't against the Nemesis. I've been playing for about 3 hours. All the times I was recording, I just could not get a game against him. Now for this video, I'm not going to be talking about any other perk changes or bug fixes that were introduced. I'm just going to be talking about the new killer, the new survivors and their perks, and the new map. Now first, I'm going to be talking about the new killer, the Nemesis. Now his first perk is called Lethal Pursuer. At the start of the trial, the auras of all survivors are revealed to you for 7, 8, 9 seconds. I think that this perk is the best one that was introduced in this new update, and is definitely going to be a common perk against the higher rank killers, especially the ones who have little to no information at either the beginning of the trial. I'm restarting. Hey everyone, I'm making this video to talk about my thoughts on the newest Dead by Daylight chapter, which introduced the Nemesis, Jill Valentine, and Leon S. Kennedy. And I know that this gameplay isn't against the Nemesis. I've been playing for about 3 hours and just could not get a game against him while I was recording. Now for this video, I'm not going to be talking about any perk changes or bug fixes. I'm just going to be talking about the new killer, survivors, and their perks, and the new map. Now first, I'm going to be talking about the new killer, the Nemesis. His first perk is called Lethal Pursuer. At the start of the trial, the auras of all survivors are revealed to you for 7, 8, and 9 seconds. I think that this perk is the best perk that was introduced in this new update, and is definitely going to be a common perk amongst the higher rank killers, and the killers who have little to no information on their survivors. His second perk is called Hysteria. Whenever you put a healthy survivor into the injured state, all injured survivors suffer from the Oblivious status effect for 20, 25, and 30 seconds, and it has a cooldown of 30 seconds. I think this perk is okay. I wouldn't use it very often, but I don't think it's the worst perk ever, or at least introduced in this update. It kind of reminds me of the Oni perk Blood Echo, by putting a survivor into the injured state and the other survivors get a status effect. I do think it is better than Blood Echo, since it could actually help a lot by putting the survivors into the Oblivious status effect, which means they can't hear the Terror Raiders. And his third perk is called Eruption. After kicking a generator, its auras is highlighted in yellow. When you put a survivor into the dying state, every affected generator explodes and starts regressing, removing the highlighted aura. And it applies a 6% progression penalty, and any survivor repairing the generator when it explodes will scream and suffer from the incapacitated status effect. I think this perk is his worst one, because usually at the higher ranks, people, or at least killers, don't normally kick generators, and if a survivor is repairing the gen while it explodes, they do gain the incapacitated status effect, which basically means they can't repair gens, sabotage hooks, or use items. Now on to the two survivors that were introduced in this update. Starting with Leon, his first perk is called Bite the Bullet. When healing, you make no noise, including grunts of pain. Failed healing skill checks do not trigger a loud noise notification, and only apply a regression penalty of 3, 2, and 1%. I think this perk would only be good for newer players who aren't as good as hitting skill checks, since like the more advanced players, and even as you just play the game more and more, you'll learn how to hit skill checks, and it becomes not that difficult. But I would recommend this perk to any newer players who find it difficult to hit skill checks, but it does only apply to healing and not repairing gens or sabotaging hooks or any of that. Now his second perk is called Flashbang, After repairing generators for a total of 70, 60, and 50%, the flashbang activates. Enter a locker while empty-handed and press the ability button to craft a flashbang. The flashbang is left behind when escaping the trial. I don't really know how useful this perk would be. It kind of like varies with who you're against and all that. But I do think this would be like a really fun perk to use. And if you're a killer against it, it'll probably be very annoying. Now his third perk is called Rookie Spirit. While repairing generators, complete 5, 3, or 4 good or great skill checks to activate Rookie Spirit for the remaining of the trial. Once activated, the auras of any regressing generators are revealed to you. I think this perk is his worst since, like I said before, usually at the higher ranks, killers won't be kicking gens that often. Also, you don't have it immediately, and you have to hit skill checks to activate it, which isn't the worst thing ever, but it's still kind of a con to this perk. Now the next survivor is Jill Valentine, and her first perk is Counterforce. You cleanse totem 20% faster, gain another stackable 20% cleansing speed bonus per cleanse totem. After cleansing a totem, the aura of the totem farthest away to you is revealed for 2, 3, and 4 seconds. This perk is good for finding hexes like Ruins or Noed and etc., all the other hex totems, but it would be completely useless if you're going against a killer who does not have any of these perks. Now our second perk is called Resurgence. After being unhooked or unhooking yourself, instantly gain 40, 45, or 50% to your healing progress. This perk would definitely be good if you have a medkit or need to get healed fast after being unhooked, so I could definitely see it being useful for most people. Her third perk is called Blast Mine. After repairing generators for a total of 66%, Blast Mine activates. After repairing a generator for at least 3 seconds, press the active ability to install a trap, which stays active for 35, 40, 45 seconds. The aura of trap generators are revealed to you, to all survivors. A generator can only be affected by one instance of Blast Mine at a time. When the killer damages a trap generator, the trap explodes, stunning them and blinding anyone nearby. Blast Mine deactivates after triggering successfully. Now this perk is kind of similar to the Flashbang perk from Leon and could definitely be really fun to use, but I do think Leon's perk Flashbang is better and more useful since it doesn't only stay on one gen and you can carry it around and use it at any time. While this perk, it only triggers when a killer kicks a gen, and it can only stay active for 45 seconds at the highest tier. Now finally, I'm gonna talk about the new map, and I'm just gonna say it's probably one of the worst maps, if not the worst, since it's indoors. It's very confusing to people who haven't played Resident Evil, which I'm one of those people. But it's very visually pleasing, since it does look very good, and it's what I've heard that it's pretty accurate to the game. Now overall, I think this chapter would be fun to play, and most of these perks are either good or really fun to use. And the killer is also pretty fun to play. And he's also not the worst killer. I don't think he's the best. I still think he needs like a few minor changes. But other than that, that's all for today's video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.